Hi guys, it's Lexi. I have some wax to talk about today. This is my September empties and what I warmed video. I'm going to talk about some of the scents that I melted but didn't finish first. And a lot of these I'm going to kind of hold over into next spring just because a lot of them are kind of like spring type scents. So let me talk about those first. First one is Don't Kill My Hippie Vibe from Rose Girls. This is grass, cannabis flower, cal, and nag champa. And I did take some notes on the back, so I'm just going to read right off what I said. I said that this was a bright, fresh green scent. It was very fitting for spring or summer especially. It was a medium performance and it was fresh but just a little earthy. So this one, I remember when I melted it, all I could think was like, this is just perfect for spring. And it was so, like, the performance was good enough where I was like, I'm not going to worry too much. So I'm going to hold this over until that time of year. I really liked the nag champa with the other type scents. I kind of felt like it helped to ground the brightness of like the fresh cut grass and like cannabis flower type scent. So I like that one. It's probably just going to be a one and done, but next spring when I melt it, I might feel differently because when you're in the season that it kind of fits, you tend to feel differently about scent. So that one I did melt during a warm day, but it just wasn't quite the vibe for this time of year. So that one I'm going to hold over. Let me talk about this one. This is another one that kind of fits spring much more. It's Wild Berry Tulips from Southbound Candle Co. The scent notes are tangerine, wild red berries, fresh picked tulips, water lily, and honeysuckle with notes of musk. And this one I've melted once in the past and I really enjoyed it. And I said that the florals really took center stage on warm. But then this time when I melted it, I was like, okay, it's almost like a candied floral. It was so like pretty and sweet. So I'm definitely going to save this one for spring. It was a very good, strong performer. And this one had like crazy, like lasting. So I said it maybe wasn't like a super powerhouse. It did perform well, but it would just like kept going and going and going and going. And it just didn't stop. So also this is from, I guess there's no scent date on this or like pour date on this. But I want to say I got this either last spring or even maybe before that. So this has some pretty good shelf life on it. So I'm not too concerned here. So I'm going to hold this over for next spring, but that one is such a good scent. And I really hope that that one comes back because I only 2 pieces left of it. Another one that is good for spring that I'm going to hold over is White Cow, and this is a loaf from Salt Mountain Melt. I am really hoping that the scent will come back because this is all I have left, and this is such a favorite scent. White Cow is vanilla shake, vanilla wafers, and maraschino cherry. This is pretty much just what you could imagine like a vanilla milkshake scent being, with just a little bit of like a maraschino cherry juice like poured into the milkshake. Super creamy, rich vanilla. You do get a little bit of the vanilla wafer like bakery, but it's mostly just like this rich, creamy, sweet vanilla. The cherry is strong in this. I also melted Pink Cow, and that's in my empty, so I'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you like a creamy vanilla scent, and if you also like cherry, then you probably love White Cow. That one's such a favorite. And now on to all of the ones that I melted that are pretty, oh, actually one more I want to talk about that's kind of more a springtime appropriate scent. This is Bonsai from Destination Wax. It is strong, fresh, green, soapy scent. Great for freshening up a bathroom. And this one was kind of, I would say sadly, this was like the biggest disappointment of the group for me. This one gave me a really bad headache. And it was only in my bathroom warmer. But when I went in there, I was just like, it immediately triggered something. So I was like, nope, never again. So I'm just going to toss this one unless there's somebody out there that's like absolutely obsessed with this scent and can't find more. I don't know if this is still available for Destination Wax, but I think I'm just going to toss this one. It was just really headache inducing. And sadly, I can't melt it again because I don't want to give myself another like migraine headache. So this one is going to be gone. That is Bonsai from Destination Wax. And then all of the rest of these I think are definitely really fall time appropriate. And I am going to roll over the majority of these to my November basket. So 3 that I'm going to put in my November basket, most likely. unless I change my mind, are these three. I did not melt any of these, but they were in my basket. So Apple Press, Johnny Appleseed, and Orchard Apple and Spice from Scentsy. Did not touch these, but these will go in my November basket. Those were the only 3 scents that I didn't even reach for at all this month from this basket. And then, let's see, this one is the Huntsman from Empire Alchemy. Ooh, the notes on here that I wrote are gone. So, I guess I'll just mention it, even though I will melt this again. The notes are charred barrel, vanilla bean Noel, and dried berries, smoked woods, and fiery embers. I said this was medium light, and it was really beautiful. So I'm going to hold more of my thoughts on this for November, but that one I did really like. This one, I don't know if I'm going to hold for November or if I'm going to just save it because I didn't see this come back at all. If anybody has this scent and they're willing to destash it, please let me know. I would very happily purchase this from you. It did not come back this year at all, and I don't foresee that this will come back in the near future, and I would love to have some more of this. Just if it doesn't come back next year, I'll be really upset. So this is Campfire Cider. I said save this. Okay, so I did make a note. Save this until you get more. I love it. It's woodsy and a little sweet and a drinkable. Love strong. So this scent is, yeah, so it's oak barrel cider, campfire mallow, and palo santo. I didn't even know if I read the notes for campfire cider, but it is so like, it's almost like this tart sweetness. Like it almost has like almost like a cranberry type vibe to it, but it's not. But there's like a tartness to this, and it is drinkable and sweet. And then just like a little like, I don't want to say smoky because that's not really it, but just like there is like this earthy kind of vibe. Yeah, definitely not smoky, but like this earthy vibe that I think is from that like that oak barrel cider scent, which is a fragrance oil that I have fallen in love with, and is also in the Huntsman from Empire Alchemy, and is also in, it's in another scent here. Let's see. It is in Oak Cider and Woods from Teddy Beast. I also didn't get around to melting just plain oak barrel cider on its own. I forgot I stuck that in the melting basket because I did already put that in my drawer. And what was the other one that I stuck in my drawer? Pumpkin sugar donuts. That one I also just stuck in my drawer. So anyway, my brain is a little all over the place today. But this one, Campfire Cider from Salt Mountain Melts. If anybody has it and they want to destash it, I will happily purchase this from you. I love the scent. It is a favorite. I'm not going to melt more until I have more. So that one is amazing. Let's hope Amanda brings that one back next year. If you love a very unique fall, like sweet, earthy, cidery type scent, that one is such a winner. I cannot speak more highly about that one. I really like that. And now I guess I'll talk about some more Salt Mountain Melts since we're kind of moving on to that anyway. So we've got Autumn Lane. This is Cider Lane, Nilla Wafers, and Butterscotch. This is, I kind of talked about this. I'm not sure what video I'm going to upload next, but I talked about this when I hauled, what is it called? Evil Queen from Salt Mountain Melts in my recent haul from Salt Mountain Melts. It is Cider Lane and vanilla, some other like vanilla notes. That blend, the Cider Lane, the notes within the Cider Lane of the Mac Apple come out more, but in this one, the caramel comes out more. And this is just like an extra sweetened Cider Lane scent, and it is so beautiful. I love the addition of the butterscotch. It just makes it extra sweet and rich. This one is a favorite. I love this, so I'm really happy to have more. I'm probably going to melt a little bit more because I'm going to want to in November, but hopefully that will come back. Another one I'm going to melt more in November and also hope it comes back is Golden Dusk. This is, I think, one of the most underrated Salt Mountain Melt scents out there. Also, Baby It's Lukewarm Outside. That is another favorite. This is Bonfire Bliss, Palo Santo, and Leaves. This one smells just like you are outside in fall, like during the fall, with crunchy leaves. The leaves in this, it's not like the Bath & Body Works dupe leaves. It is like real crunchy dried leaves. and the Bonfire Bliss. It adds like this smoky kind of quality of like maybe there's a bonfire off in the distance somewhere. And then the Palo Santo just adds like this earthy sweetness, like woodsy earthy sweetness. This is such a beautiful scent. I could also not speak more highly about this one. I did make a post on the Salt Mountain Melts Facebook group page, just kind of commenting about all her scents that I had in this upcoming melting basket, or this last melting basket. And all of the Salt Mountain Melts ones were all such winners this month. They were all great. So loved them all. So this one is Britta's Creepy Treasures, called Spark It Up. This is a custom I made from Britta's in 2022. It is patchouli, crackling birch, and by the campfire and marshmallow bomb. This scent, it is so unbelievably strong. Like, I feel like this one, the longer it has sat, the stronger it has gotten. And I'm going to hold on to this once again for November. It is, yeah, it's just like super earthy, smoky. It smells like Halloween night. So I might throw this in my October melting basket. Still not sure yet. Or at least one of my melting baskets. I'm kind of doing a repeat of what I did last year for my theme. So I'm splitting up my melting baskets for October into 3 different melting baskets because I have so much Halloween wax that it's crazy. So I'm going to do the same themes that I did last year, which was like a movies, like Halloween movies and TV show theme. One was like a witchy theme, and then the last one was just like a general Halloween, like Happy Halloween type theme. So same things that I did last year. I hope you guys are okay with that, but that just tends to be like what I have most of for Halloween scents. A lot of vendors name their things after like Halloween movies or TV shows or like witch type scents. So that's just kind of what I've been doing. I hope that's okay with you guys. But this one I might end up sticking in that basket, one of the baskets, and maybe if I don't, then I'll do November. So we'll see, but really great scent either way. I have Morning Walk from Super Tarts. It is Brisk Air, Morning Dew, Fall Leaves, Warm Amber, and Dirt. And this one on cold, I was not really vibing with the dirt scent, to be honest with you. I kind of was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this on warm. And on warm, the dirt kind of tones down and the other scents kind of amp up a little bit more, which I do appreciate. But overall, I don't think that this is a scent that I would actively want to seek out again. So once this is gone, I'll use it and enjoy it. Once it's gone, I'll probably just not repurchase this one. But it does kind of put you in, like, it's a very atmospheric scent. So it kind of puts you somewhere, which I do appreciate. But I don't necessarily know. I'm just not a big dirt fan in wax. I just feel like it's like making me feel like I need to like clean. I don't know. So that's probably just a one and done for me. However, this one has dirt in it as well, but I think I prefer this one a little bit more than I like this one. So this is Rose Girl's Deer Camp. It's fresh fallen leaves, burning logs, and a touch of dirt. The dirt is definitely a lot more subdued in this. Not really super noticeable, which I appreciate. And the thing that's the strongest is like the, burning logs and fallen leaves. So I like it. It definitely smells realistic, like being outside near a bonfire, kind of similar to the vibe that I got from Golden Dusk. I do prefer Golden Dusk because there's a lot more sweetness behind it. It still is very realistic, but it's a sweeter version of this. Kind of similar. I mean, definitely not exactly, but if you want one that is like definitely, it smells like a straight up, like you are burning leaves in a campfire, it is this one. So I once again appreciate it for the realisticness, but it's not something that I'll probably actively seek out again. I might change my mind. Maybe I'll melt this one in November and feel differently, but that was my thoughts on that. And then finally I have Rodeo. This is Leather, Amber, Wood, Patchouli, and Vanilla from Rose Girls. This scent is so unique and so beautiful. I really like this one. And this one I have in my bathroom. And honestly, I like it in the bathroom, but I almost think I prefer this more like in like my living room, like bedroom kind of areas. It just is like kind of, it's warm and cozy, and like it, something about this just really smells like upscale to me. And I think it's that leather note. It smells like when you would walk into like a really nice like cabin somewhere, and like you can smell like the leather chairs, and it just kind of smells like a library, somewhere fancy. So this one I think might be like a living room, bedroom type melt in the future, but I really do like Rodeo, and I'm excited to melt more of that in the winter months. So that was all of the things that I melted but didn't finish. Let me move on to my empties. Okay, so empty time. I have Rainbow Sherbet. This was a sample from Zape. This one, I said, I put it in the bathroom. It was very fruity and realistic. It was a lime orange type of sherbet. Such a nice scent for summer. It was a good medium strength. So I like that one. I don't know if I'd actively seek it out, but it was nice to melt during the earlier days of September when it was still warm out. So that one was nice. That one wasn't in my melting basket. I just stuck it in because that was a sample from my most current like Zape fall collection haul. So next I have 2 scents here from Teddy Bees. These were both scents that I currently repurchased in tubs during the last pre-order. And it is sugared chestnuts and apple butter. I do already have this one in a tub, but I wanted to get a backup tub because it is that good. Notes are apple butter, brown sugar, toasted chestnuts, clove, and notes of spice. This is such a beautiful, like warm, cozy apple, like nutty apple scent. It's just delicious. Super good performer, delicious, like just beyond delicious. I love that one. I think that one's a favorite of a lot of people for good reason. That one was a repurchase, would always be a repurchase. This one is oak, cider, and woods. I kind of mentioned that oak barrel cider note is in here from the other wax melts that I had this month. Notes are warm mulled cider, cedar, oak, vanilla, toasted marshmallow, pine cones, and smoked woods. This one compared to campfire cider from Salt Mountain Melts is, I guess the comparison is that the Salt Mountain Melts is a lot more sweet and like tart, kind of drinkable cider. And then this one, because of the addition of like the woods, it brings out like the oak part of the oak barrel cider more, and it is much more woodsy and not really drinkable or sweet. It just is kind of like the cider part of the oak barrel cider is like in the background. So they both do very different things, and I really enjoyed both of these. So this was a repurchase in a tub. I like this one a lot. I will say the only issue that I had about this one is that after like the 6 or 8 hour mark, it kind of starts to turn and do like this really weird like sour thing. So you kind of have to pull it out at that mark, but I feel like you already get such a good amount of hours beforehand that it's not that big of an issue. So that's my only like kind of weird thing with that, but I really like this one and I'm very happy that I purchased more. This one is Pink Cow. This was the strawberry version of White Cow, which I kind of suggested, not knowing Amanda would actually do it. And then one day she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. So I really appreciated that. It is vanilla shake, vanilla wafers, and strawberry. And I wrote notes on the back of this. I said the first time I melted this, it was so strong on the strawberry and I didn't get much vanilla. And that was pretty much immediately after I hauled this. So I did not give it any cure time. But I said after letting this cure longer, it changed and I got the notes of like the vanilla and vanilla wafer notes much stronger. And I said in parentheses, like even the wafer note was strong. I love this. I'm so happy I have a loaf. This is such a bright, creamy strawberry vanilla scent, and it was a medium performance. So that one is Pink Cow. Really happy that I have, like I said, a loaf of that. Next one is from Destination Wax. This is in Grass Stain, which is a single note of fresh green grass. One of my all-time favorites, Destination Wax scents. One of my all-time favorite Destination Wax scents, period. Best grass scent out there. Sorry, it's hard to read. Hard to read my own writing. No others come close. This is green, sweet, and dewy, not dry or like someone mowing. This is always a repurchase. It is a great performer, especially for the age. It's 2022 and it's very long lasting. So that is Grass Stain. Could not recommend a scent more from Destination Wax. It's such a favorite. Another Destination Wax scent I have is Napa Valley Sunset. The notes are fig, fig leaves, pear, musk, and it is a Bath & Body Works dupe. I said, I've never tried the original scent from Bath & Body Works, but I really enjoyed this. Sometimes other fig blends I've had can come across savory, but because of the pear was in this, I think that it helped amp up the fruit note. This was a great early fall type of scent, medium strong, and I'm happy I tried it, but I probably wouldn't repurchase this one. So that is Napa Valley Sunset from Destination Wax. Another one from Destination is Bartlett Pear, and the notes are juicy pear, tart green apples, and fresh pear nectar, and this is a white barn type. I wrote that this was the lightest of all of the Destination wax scents. It was a kiss of a bright fruity pear scent in the air. I did enjoy it when I could catch sniffs of it, but it could have been the age that I melted. This was from 2022. I said, however, you know, this one was from 2022 and so was Grass Stain, and those were very strong. So maybe this was just a lighter scent in general. I believe that I melted this a few years ago from Destination Wax and it was stronger then. So I can't really remember, but that one is Bartlett Pear. I did like it, just it was lighter for me. So a couple here from Birdie's Making Sense. The first one is No Ducking Way. This is from 2023 and it is butterscotch and yellow cake. This one I'm mentioning the date, the pour date on here because this one was super, super light and like almost unnoticeable. So unfortunately, I think this one might have just been like a dud for me. It was, yeah, I just said sadly really like unnoticeable. So that one is the same, around the same pour as all of the rest of these. And the rest of these were pretty good performers. So next one I have from Birdie's is I Don't Give a Ham. This is sugared strawberry cookies, lemon meringue, and sugar cookie royale. This I wrote was all caps, so strong, and I really, really liked this. It was nice in the kitchen because of the bright lemon, but it was also really well balanced with the strawberry, and I would repurchase this. So definitely, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for this one. I really liked like the strawberry lemon bakery, and it was specifically like a cookie bakery. So it was like a sweet sugary cookie, but like with like strawberry and like lemon infused frosting or something. It was delicious. So I really like that. That is I Don't Give a Ham. The next one is Maybe She's Barn With It. And this one I melted yesterday. So it is pumpkin pecan waffles, butterscotch maple cream, and salted pretzel milkshake. I really like this one. This one didn't have a super long life as far as like the performance. I think it was like 4, maybe 5 hours, and then it was kind of gone. But I really did enjoy this one when it was warming. It just was like super sweet and rich and like definitely perfect for fall. I could smell the pumpkin pecan waffles, but it wasn't too like yeasty or bready kind of smelling like sometimes it can be. And I could smell like the butterscotch, which I really enjoyed. And then the salted pretzel milkshake just made it like salty sweet. It just was really, really good. So that one was a favorite. I would repurchase that. This one was I Like to Move It, Move It. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch and sugar milk with frosted animal crackers. This one I really did enjoy, but it was even shorter. So maybe like 2 hours of scent and then it was gone. So because of that, because of how short this one had, like in the warmers, I probably wouldn't repurchase this one, but I really do like sugar milk scents. And I liked the addition of like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It made it smell like you were drinking a bowl or like eating a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. So I like that, but I just wish it was stronger, like longer lasting. That one is I Like to Move It, Move It. And then this one is Do Epig Stuff, and it's cherry, cheesecake, and boom boom type. This one was also kind of later for me. So I also just didn't love this one. The cheesecake didn't come across sour, which some of them do, but the boom boom mixed with the cherry cheesecake, it just didn't quite jive in my head. There was something about this where I kept feeling like I was smelling like a perfumey, lollipop cherry scent. So I just didn't, personally, I didn't love the scent, but that's all right. This was kind of boiled down to just like personal preference. I have 2 from Southbound Candle Co. These ones I've already kind of talked about, so I'll go quickly on these. So pumpkin season is pumpkin butter, vanilla bean, pretzel, honeyed graham crackers, pumpkin pie, toasted marshmallow, and smoked woods. I talked about this one in the last Empties video. It was very strong, good performer, long lasting, but not a scent I feel like I would need more of. The more I think about it, I wonder if it's the pretzel note that was throwing me off. This is just something that is off to me, but I know the others really enjoy the scent. I saw somebody in the group that held like a lot of that scent, so it's just a personal preference thing. And then this one is Fall Flannel. It's vanilla bean, tonka, smoky wood, caramel, clove, and fresh clean laundry. And I said, I love this scent. I just repurchased this in a larger bag. It is so beautiful, sweet and clean without being a classic laundry scent. It's also a soft, sweet, woodsy scent, which I love. It is strong and very long lasting. And I just found out that this actually might be a single fragrance oil with the same name, or I believe it might be. So I think that this is fall flannel is a single fragrance oil, and I really like that one, so that's a favorite. This one here is Autumn Cat from Empire Alchemy. It's Southern California Winter, crushed sage, hint of smoked lavender, charred oak barrel cider. So this has that oak barrel cider note that I really love. I said this is such a nice blend, especially for it being a lavender scent. It kind of reminds me of the Yankee Candle dried lavender and oak scent, a similar type of lavender. It's not overly powdery, it's just earthy and sweet. This also has the oak barrel cider fragrance oil that I love in it. Medium strength, great fall bedtime blend, and I'll definitely repurchase this. That is Autumn Cat from Empire Alchemy. And I do also have, since I'm talking about it, I do have dried lavender and oak from Yankee Candle that I finished up in a centerpiece melt cup. I said this is one of the only lavender scents that I really like. It's woodsy and subtly sweet. I love. So this is a repurchase for me as well. I have all of the rest here are from Rose Girl, so quite a lot to talk about. The first one is Moo Moo Track. Moo Moo Track is one of my all-time favorite Rose Girls blends. Always a repurchase. So yummy, sweet, fruity, creamy bakery goodness. It's the best. So Moo Moo Track. The scent notes are banana cream pie, strawberry, and birthday cake. I love that scent. This one is Apple of My Eye. Scent notes are apples, bamboo stalks, vetiver, hemp seed, and oak moss. I said that this was so interesting. The apple was definitely a green apple, and to my nose, it really smells like a green apple, like Jolly Rancher or a candy. It's kind of strange that it was paired with those other notes because I felt like if it was a different apple, it would have been better to my nose, just personal preference. I'm happy that I tried it, but it wouldn't be a repurchase, and it was a good medium performer. The next one is Summer Stargazing, which is notes of bergamot, jasmine, musk, and cloves on the line. This, I said, loved the bergamot and jasmine together. The musk and laundry notes were subtle and everything was just very well balanced. This was a very well done blend. I really enjoyed it. Surprisingly, even for it being a laundry scent, this didn't give me a headache. That's usually what laundry scents tend to do to me, but this one didn't. It was soft and fresh and clean. I really liked it, and it would definitely be a repurchase if I saw it and was placing another order. So that one is Summer Stargazing. This next one is Where the Blue Spruce Grows. It is Rain, Spruce, Bergamot, Cedarwood, and Florals. I wrote, this is a beautiful scent, mostly spruce, like the needles in greenery, but then the cedarwood was kind of toned down and sweetened by the rain and florals. So I really enjoyed it. I would grab more if I saw it again. And I said that this could also be a cologne. It kind of was like an earthy, aquatic-y type cologne scent. And if this was a cologne, I would want time to wear this. This was really nice. So I definitely enjoyed this scent. That is Where the Blue Spruce Grows. The next one is Midnight Garden. And I wrote, actually, let me tell you the notes first. It is Moonflower Nectar, Soft Rain, Raspberry, and Agave. And I wrote this was almost like the feminine version of Where the Blue Spruce Grows, where it had a similar vibe, but instead of the woods, it was more florals and berries. And the rain note kind of made it like a softer, more toned down kind of floral scent. So I said it was really pretty, super unique, another knockout blend from Jenny. If I saw it again and was placing another order, I would definitely grab a bag. It was a nice medium performer, a great bedroom scent, and really nice for spring. So that is Midnight Garden. This is one that is definitely a fall scent. All of the rest I kind of melted, like the summery ones. I melted earlier in the month. And then I kind of try to save the like fall type ones for later in the month. And this one I just melted recently and really liked it. It is Pumpkin Pickin', pumpkin puree, nutmeg, pie crust, cinnamon, honey butter, and buttercream. I said I enjoyed this scent, but I would have enjoyed it just even a little bit more if instead of the pumpkin puree, no, it was her pumpkin pie oil that she has. Sometimes a puree note kind of like turns my stomach. And I will say early on in melting this one, I felt like I could kind of get that puree note a lot more than the other notes. And I was like, But then the longer I let this one warm, the better it became. And when I would walk into the room after being away from this one, I just kept going like, oh, what is that? That's so good. So that means the scent does something to you if you're like, whoa, this is good. And so I really like this one. And that cinnamon honey butter definitely reminds me of like the Texas Roadhouse roll cinnamon honey butter note, which I loved. So that one was really nice. That is Pumpkin Pickin'. Finally, from Rose Girls, I have By Dirt. This is Nag Champa, Palo Santo, and Vanilla Sandalwood. I said this was a warm, woodsy, earthy scent. Very much a hippie vibe. Kind of reminds me of something that you'd smell like if you walked into like Rainbow Zen or like one of those types of stores. I really enjoyed it. And Tom loved it. He was like all about it. He just kept asking me to put this in, which he never really does. And he was like, can you put in that scent again? So I was like, yep, I'll do that. He kept saying it reminded him of elementary school. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, maybe it's because it kind of reminds him of like crayons. And I know crayons are waxy and you're not going to want your wax melts to smell like wax. But there was like this subtle undertone of like maybe it was like pencil shavings or like crayons. I don't know. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but I think he meant it in like the best way possible. And I don't know if that's what he was pulling from this, but I kind of get that when I smell that. Almost like a crayon box, like that kind of a scent. But I really liked it. So that is By Dirt. I hope that wasn't, I don't take that offensively. I like that scent. He likes that scent. But there is something that is like kind of nostalgic. And I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. So don't know. But we both liked it. Next, I have a couple scents from Scentsy, one from Walmart, and then some non-wax that I'll just like really quickly talk about. So, oh, I found this one in here too. Okay, so let me talk about this one before I talk about those last things. This is a sample from Teddy B's in I Heart Vanilla Tobacco. I was nervous about this one initially on cold sniff because I thought that the tobacco note might give me a headache. I will say it didn't give me a headache. However, this was only in my bathroom, so it's not like a great amount of space to like warm something. It did fill the space in there, and it went for a couple days. But every time I went in the bathroom, I just was like it wasn't for me. It did smell like tobacco. I don't know. I don't really have a strong connection to tobacco scents or anything like where somebody that I loved smoked tobacco in my life. So I don't have like that draw to it, but I know that scents with tobacco can have that kind of connection for people, which I love. To me, this kind of reminds me of work. It kind of reminds me of like when people have cigar bars at weddings. So it reminds me of work. And so maybe for that reason, I was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, get me out of here. It just smells like, I don't know, kind of just smells like people standing around a cigar bar at a wedding and like smoking cigars. So didn't give me a headache, but definitely wasn't like a scent that I loved. So that one was I Heart Vanilla Tobacco. Then let me talk about, I hope that doesn't make it sound like I don't like my job. I love my job. But just like, it's not like it reminds me of my grandpa or somebody I love, you know? So anyway, two from Scentsy. I have Apple S'mores. This is the scent that was in my Scentsy club for like years. And I just recently took it out of my Scentsy club. I do really like the scent, but I feel like I'm fine that it's out of my club now. I have an excess of the scent. I do really enjoy this. It smells like you are out by a campfire and there's like an apple note and it's like maybe a warm marshmallow note and it's woodsy and sweet and just like really pretty. So I like Apple S'mores. You can't really get it now, so I'm not going to go into depth about it. And then this is Bright Cider Life from Scentsy. And I wrote a book on the back of this. Oh, and I can't really read it. Yeah, I can't really read it because the oils kind of like made all the words go away. But from my memory, I think that this was just an older bar because it didn't have any of the stuff on the back here. And I think that maybe because it was older that the scent started to change, because this kind of smelled a little sour when I melted it recently. And I was like, not about that. So with that in mind, it reminds me that I need to prioritize a lot of my Scentsy wax. I have an excess of Scentsy wax. I probably should go through and sell some of my Scentsy wax because I don't reach for it. When I pull melting baskets, I reach for my vendor wax. I prefer my vendor wax. I probably should just cancel my Scentsy club or like really cull it down. I culled it down recently, but I should cull it down even more. But this one is it went a little off. So I don't know if anybody else has had that similar experience with Bright Cider Life. Let me know. It could have been the age because like I said, there's none of the imprints on the back. So I know it's an older bar, but wasn't a favorite. And then let me talk about some other non-wax items I have in here. This is a jack-o'-lantern from Zape This I recently hauled. I just put this in my shower. I've only used it like once or twice, and I'm mostly having it in there for Tom. This is the toasted pumpkin seed fragrance oil in this, and I love that scent. It's really good. So far, so good. I just wanted to mention I stuck it in my shower for this month. I also have another shower product from Zape. This is in Vanilla Sunrise. The notes of this were not on here, but it was a orange blossom and vanilla scent, and it smells like fresh and clean. It reminds me of like Florida, and there's like a perfume that my mom really liked that was like an orange blossom scent back in the day, so it kind of reminds me of my mom. I really like this scent. I would definitely repurchase that. I have apple and cedarwood from Bath and Body Works in a anti-back hand sanitizer thing. I really like the scent. It is like a woodsy apple scent. I like that. I would repurchase that. This one is a fragrance. What do they call these? I don't know. One of these little fragrancy packs with the gels in it from Scentsy in Autumn Road Trip. I had this in my like linen closet area for like I don't know, maybe a full year. I don't know, probably a couple months at least, probably 6 months maybe. And I really enjoy it. It was good. Now it doesn't smell like anything, so I just took it out. I liked it though. That's a really great fragrance. This is a little hanger in, it is getting so dark out, you guys. Coconut lemongrass. This one is an okay scent. It smells like lemony and fresh and clean. I put this at the bottom of our trash can, so that did a job. This is Jammy Time. I also have this at the bottom of the trash can. I can't remember if I'll talk about this again, or I don't know if I'll talk about this again. I'll try to just trash it next time, but when I put this one in the bottom of the trash can to like switch out for this, it like kind of made me like, oh. Don't love the scent. Really don't like the scent. I think it has lavender in it. I stuck it at the bottom of the trash can, and I hope it just kind of like keeps that area fresh and clean, but didn't like the scent. This one is Fall Feelin'. This is the strongest scent circle I've ever had. It went for days in the back hallway near our shoes. The scent reminds me of Bath and Body Works Leaves, but with the apple note that comes out much stronger. And the apple note almost is like slightly rotten, but like I mean that in the best way possible. Kind of weird to say, but it was very realistic. So I really liked Fall Feelin'. Maybe I'd pick it up and wax. I don't know. And then finally, this is, what is it? Apples, and I don't remember what this was. I think it was like pumpkin apple or whatever, apple pumpkin from Yankee Candle in a car jar. This, I said, is just a classic fall scent. I stuck this in the front closet when I took this scent out, and it just smells like that classic apple pumpkin scent. I like it. It's doing its thing in there. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry it got dark. I'm going to hopefully try to tweak the editing so I don't just like become like this shadow for you guys. But I really wanted to get this video up. We are heading back up to the mountains for 7 more back-to-back-to-back elopements. And I just won't have time to film a video. And by the time I get back, it'll be a couple weeks after, you know, or a week into October, and I want to get this video done. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. I'm sorry that was kind of rushed. I hope you're all doing well, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.